Now let's move on to March to War. March to War is one of those decks where you just don't lose very often when you play it. You can go ahead and check check the games that I posted on Duel's community. The first 2 games I was playing March to War because I just think of it as the strongest deck in the game. Maybe Knights, maybe Realm. You never know, but I really like March to War. I just don't think it loses. It's super aggro, still works in the long game, gets around their blockers. It's just so hard to deal with that I really, really like this deck, and I think that it's one of the best in the game. Let's go through the different elements that it has. So the first element, maybe that's why I said the word elements anyway. Brave the Elements, obviously an amazing card. We've seen it for forever. It's been out since the game has been out, so don't really need to discuss it. Let's talk a little bit about Path to Exile, though. This card is the best removal spell in the format. First of all, you can just use it to your own guys if you really, really, really need to. If you play Raise the Alarm turn 2 and then you don't have a land, or you have a land turn 3 and you really need to get that land turn 4, or you want to get the 5 land so you can play your Conqueror's Pledge turn 4, then you can exile one of your soldiers. Like it's not recommended, but you know, sometimes it's what you need to do and sometimes it'll work out pretty well for you. But in general, you want to use it on your opponent's dudes, not towards the beginning of the game. Even though this is a 1-drop instant, it's not meant to be done turn 1. You don't want to do it to anything other than a Grizzle Blues, which will just get canceled and die. But in general, you don't want to do this turn 1 because you're going to hurt yourself more than you're going to help yourself. But either way, it's just strict removal, gets rid of a creature, exiles it, doesn't even go to the graveyard, just get out of my life kind of thing. And then there's my favorite... Well, one of the parts of my favorite thing that I can do in this deck, which is Soul Warden. Soul Warden gains you a life whenever a creature enters the battlefield. And now let's go on over to Searing Meditation. And whenever you gain life, you can pay 2. If you do, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. So if you leave 2 mana open, then you basically have created probably one of the 2 or 3 best combos that Duels of the Planeswalkers offers us. I don't know if they meant to take out all the combos because there aren't really that many amazingly awesome cool combos like this, but basically whenever they play a creature, if it has 2 or less toughness, it will die as long as you tap the correct mana. So it's pretty much an unstoppable lock, unless they kill Soul Warden. But like you can substitute that with Recumbent Bliss. I mean, and then there's randomly Lightning Helix and stuff. So Solemn Offering. So you know it works lots of ways. And Johnny's probably an amazing dude. Boros Swiftblade is really cool. I definitely recommend running him. Double Strike with ways to pump your dudes is really, really amazing. So he's a 1/2, but he's probably going to be a 2/2. Or I mean, he could be really strong if you've got a Lean and Sun Standard out there, or a Glory of Warfare, or Marshall's Anthem. So it could get stronger. Ceradon Yearling is just, I mean, like, before Knights came out, he was one of the cooler 2-drop spells, but Vigilance and Haste for 2 is just like nothing compared to like Knight of the Metagrain, First Strike, Lifelink, both better abilities than Vigilance or Haste. So it's a good dude, but not really. I mean, he's been kind of replaced by better spells by the Knights, but anyway, against most of the other casts, he just does amazing. Lean and Sun Standard is probably the most symbolic card of the deck. You just get a lot of dudes out. You swing in, you make them all 4/4s. It's pretty crazy. Lightning Helix gains you so much value when you play this card. It's, first of all, gains life, so it triggers all your gain life thingy, like a Johnny's Private Searing Meditation. Second of all, kills a dude. Third of all, you just get to gain the life, so that's cool. So, really good card, really useful for the deck. I run 3 of the Raise the Alarms. I love the dudes. I couldn't really find another spell to take out for Raise the Alarm. I suppose you could take out one Ceradon Yearling, but I really like to have those guys get in early so that I can just get all my dudes out and win the game. Of course, the other option is just to get your Squadron Hawks out and win the game. Squadron Hawk is an amazing card, and the fact that they put it in this deck is really cool. I wish they had put it in both Oromancer and Wielding Steel, where it would have gone really well too. But in this deck, it's pretty cool. I don't really end up giving my Hawks battle axes, but I do use Lean and Sun Standard and stuff like that. So it works out pretty well. Recumbent Bliss removal spell, awesome. Solemn Offering, love it. Kills any artifact or enchantment. Doesn't always help you out, but usually does. And when it does, they're not expecting it. Or, I mean, I guess they are expecting it against this deck. But in general, people don't usually play around having their artifacts or enchantments destroyed in this format because most decks don't do it. Plus, it gains you life. So, funnily enough, I think... I just said the word funnily. Anyway, I think they were at 2 life, and I had a Searing Meditation out, so I played my Solemn Offering, killed my own, like, Lean and Sun Standard or Recombable. I don't know. Killed something just to gain the life so I could use the ability. Glory of Warfare, awesome card. Makes your Squadron Hawks 3 power each, swinging it for 12 total. Amazing. And then there's Marshal's Anthem and Conqueror's Pledge. Conqueror's Pledge obviously will win you the game. There's so many different ways to run this deck. I'm not even going to like pretend to list them. I think White Sun Zenith should probably be in the deck. I don't have it in there right now. But it was probably like a really really quick build. Like if you want, you can put it in. You could take out a Solemn Offering or 1 Raise the Alarm or 1 Ceradon Yearling. That's what I would recommend. Probably take out the Ceradon Yearling and put in the White Sun Zenith. White Sun is a really late game card, but once you play it, like they're so not expecting it, they just think, okay, I can swing it for this amount and I'll be okay, and then you're just like, nope, I've got cats, I swing in for game. So the problem with it is it takes out 1 mountain, obviously, and then you only have 7 mountain because it's got 3 white symbols in it. But that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. You want to get to Conqueror's Pledge by turn 5 almost always, and if you've got 3 mountains out, then obviously that won't do it. But anyway, that is it for Tier 1 for me. I know a lot of you people probably think that Vampires should be in Tier 1, but I just don't think it's nearly as good as March to War, Benighted, or Realm of Illusion is. In fact, I think that those 3 decks are the 3 decks that I am most confident in being in the Tier 1. And anyway, I mean, again, you guys can have your own opinions. These are my opinions, but this is my Tier 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for Tier 2. Woohoo!